Hey, NASDOG, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am a human technical analyst here. What are we looking at here? It is Tuesday, May, what is today? 5th. Okay, here's silver. This is silver here, okay? This will be, a way here you can play the lines, the levels. This is experimental right here. Here you shoot up to this teal line here, and now we're here. We're back at the 74.02.03. Okay. Crude oil's got an interesting here. Well, let's go to the minis here because I had the 24-hour charts on it. Okay. I just had a short sale up here, $3 scalp there. That's what those tiny arrows are here. Let me show you on this chart here, okay? This is the range. This is a small range, okay? And you say, okay, well, that olive line sell, okay? That's not what I used it for. I used it for this 103.18 just to cover it here. I had a bid in overnight, a little lower here against 102 just in case. With a stop. With a stop, as a matter of fact, the stop, I can't even look at this high, 106.276. My stop was very close, but it did not get hit. Here we got a 7 here, okay? And we traded down to 103.08 right here. Okay, if you had them to buy here, and then this low right here, 103.05, okay? I like those. You just buy where the first spike down, okay, and then you get a big rally, okay, and then you go do this, you go get the gap, you go into these greens. We had 2 greens. This one is left unable. Actually, that's a little gap, isn't it? Let's go take a look at that. Okay, this is crude oil. This is June crude oil. This is the one. Okay, this is now the squeeze contender here. 105.50, call it, was the high. Okay, and this is where we are. Okay, let's look at it on a daily. Okay, that's where we are. Okay, so we are not much over the initial spike. Now, this was 104, okay, and it did have an orange. These are long-term over here. These are long-term. Okay, this trend line right here comes in, and this is played twice. One time we went up to 107.50 right here. Yeah, 107.50. Round down. Okay, and then right here it was the high. Okay, 106.43. It's a trend line going down. What's it off of? Okay, it's off of some important levels here. These would be levels to entertain getting short. Okay, so now we have had some unrest overnight. Okay, and we're still down. We're a buck off the low, but we're still down 222 off this high here. Okay, so I look at this as suspect. I look at it as a lot of new money that came in here and bought. Okay, speaking of money that came in and bought, here, you know what? Let me take off that text. Text actually sucks up more memory than you would think, because you got to have text in different fonts, when you're blowing up charts and that. Okay, let's go look at the biodiesel here. Okay, this is bean oil. Okay, hey, we got olive line cells here too, just like in crude. Okay, so here's and then here's an orange here. This is, you can do these blow throughs, but look at the low here. It was like missed by a couple. 45 was the low. 43 was that orange. Okay, and then you go right up to the olive. Okay, so this is still 300 points. Okay, this is $6 a tick. 300, $6 a tick. 100 is $600 times 300. 3 would be $1,800 per one lot. Okay, nice size contract here, and it's a small contract. You get a couple on here. You could totally $5,000. Couple contracts. So on the downside, okay? And if peace ever broke out, think of this. What's going to happen? Stay tuned. Come back. Here's meal here. Look at this, 322. You know what? Let's put up on a daily. It's up in the upper left-hand corner right here. Okay, see, we had this outside down day here. Let's go take a look at meal here. Okay, you know, had that high back here. This was one that Chinese, okay. And then what we had? Beginning of the year, and meal is the dog, okay. So, and this is long term. This is long term. These aren't huge, okay, and you know, going on the upside here. So that is soybean meal. Take a little snapshot of corn here. This is July corn. Okay, so you can see this low here today. What is the range? 83.5 to 87.5, 4/8. Okay, so this is the range here. You know, you got an old high here, and then you got a long-term trend line here. This is to be determined here, okay? But this area right here, right around 483, okay? And then here, you can see a couple olives on the way up here, okay? This isn't huge in corn, but let's go look at beans here down. These are November beans. These are the ones they're planting here. You could see a couple long-term trend line breakouts, okay? Long-term trend line breakouts, okay? I'd do the hashed or do the diamonds, okay? And this is what beans look like, okay? We're down. What do we get up to? 99. Okay. This 93 here, okay, see here, here's an example of the olive line scratcher. 1192 in the goats, 6/8, 3/4. Say it half bid, 3/4. Say it 10 times. Half bid, 3/4. Half bid, 3/4. Half bid the goats. Half bid the goats. Now it's from the trading floor. Okay, so the goats is 3/4. So anyway, here now this is like that orange here. Okay, where it's holding intact here. We got. Oh no, that's it. Oh, okay. Here we go. These are the two olives. And now these are not huge, okay? These are not huge, but this is here for farmers looking to sell some grain, sell some beans. Let's look at the July here. July, a little bit different story here, okay? We had that one day where we went limit, man. Okay, and this is like crude oil when we went up to 120 and then down to, I think it was 70. Let's say 72. I was going to say 71. We had a huge break. I don't think it was $50, but it may have been 35. It was like silver. This was the best of the bunch here, okay? We went sideways here for a month, you know? Here, the 16th, you know, over a month, okay? And then we just drifted up here. Let's just do this off the top to that, okay? Let's look over here. These would be a couple shorter term if, in fact, one was looking to sell an orange, a thin olive, a thick olive, okay? Just off of earlier this year, okay? But we're coming into summer here, okay? So listen, you know, we're coming into summer, babe. This thing tends to go fast, so you cannot rule out we rallied $2 in beans. Here's a shot of wheat. I talked about this. I said this was 627 here. We never got it here. We had this one trend line here. Let's just go see what that is. 05 and 04's lows, okay? So let's just say, for example, that particular thing that we went up, whatever, 1%, okay? 1% from one year to the next, couple lows. And so then here you come back down here, and this would be that 1% inflation line, okay? I'm making it up. Oh, yeah, let's look at gold here real fast, okay? Look at this. Here it was a low, okay? Here you punch through. Here you punch through again and hold the close. Here, okay, you just sit here in the middle of the night. And, oh, that was the end of the day. Okay, and then look at this, 45.2270. If you had it to buy there, you're filled, okay? 22.70, 23.10 is this number. And you can see there's something right underneath there, okay? This is how exact these charts. See this right here? There's something else right there. Let's blow it up. It's at 22.25, a penny apart, okay? If, in fact, you put a stop right under there or under here, you know, what is gold doing now here? Up $30. Okay, $40 off the low. Okay, that's gold. Okay, so here on the upside, this is just listen. These are just levels here on the way down. If in fact you're entertaining, playing at these numbers, probably buying, right? I mean, so although if we get a peace deal or something like that, 104.14, we sit here we just sit. I don't know, have your orders up here. If, in fact, you're looking to sell. Okay, and we're going to leave off here with, this is heating oil here. This is stuck up in the corner here. This is June, okay, June, $4.20, okay, per gallon. And, so it's like diesel. So if you're paying $7, man, get a hold of Harmeet Dillon over at the DOJ. This is November here, okay, right here, 343, call it, okay. And what is this? This is a monthly chart, okay. So if you believe, okay, that this is a temporary blip in prices, okay, we're going back to drill, baby, drill here. So let's look at this on the monthly, okay? Just if you're looking at a monthly and you wanted to see my monthlies, that would be what it is right then and there. And I don't know what here. So this trend line right here is over here at, right now, 322, okay? See that? You see it in the, here's the upper one, 369. Okay, those are actually very important lines. Not in this particular time sequence. Here's the July here, 395 and change, okay? 395.37 is the exact price. 395.98, okay? So just under $3.96 a handle. Okay, look at this. 25-cent range, right? What do we got? 96, 72, 4. Okay? In a day, okay? And we closed up 12 cents here. So we'll see here on this unrest, okay? But that is when you get paid. That is when there are people out here giving you over $100 a barrel. So if you need anything, email me. I send out a boatload of charts. As a matter of fact, let me take this over here. Let me drag this over here. Okay, so these are the charts that have gone out here. Here, 5-4. Okay, and then here's 5-1. Okay, this was Friday. Okay, so I give all these charts. As a matter of fact, here we could go through them here. I'll page down them. Okay, so look in the right-hand corner. Okay, or on the right side there. Okay, you can't see those. Okay, I was pointing out the middle of the curve. Was stronger yesterday. They were paying up. What is that? That's silver. That's just a little tiny something in silver. Hang on a second. What was the low last night? 72.80. Another silver chart. Okay, so you could get a point here. Here, actually, let me go through them real fast here. Let's go down to, okay, here's August crude oil here. Here's July crude oil. Okay, here's Nove beans. Oh, see that Nove beans right there? That was right down here. This one down to 18. Scared the piss out of everybody. But it was from where we took off, okay? And then we got back up to 25 or 26 yesterday. Okay, let's call this a wrap. Email me, arp@nasdog.com. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.